and good morning again. I'm very grateful for this opportunity today to share my experiences in Chonpyeon, Korea. And I would like to show pictures, and I will explain my experience, also inspiration, according to chronological order. So I will start with how I ended up there. It was like the last day of the August. Elizabeth wrote to me. She said, True Mother is inviting the composers from all over the world, members and composers who are members of the church, and for the meeting to discuss about music for the Cheonwon-gun entrance ceremony. Would you like to go? She asked. And I said, oh, why not? It's going to be great. So I thought it's going to be maybe sometime in October or at the closest, maybe 2 or 3 weeks. And I said, oh, yeah, I'd love to go. Then the next day, the first in September, Peter Staudinger, the Yume office, wrote to me, okay, I'm going to book a ticket tomorrow. And when can you go in the morning or afternoon? And I was, what? I had some plans, and I had a concert coming up. In that concert, my piece of piano piece was going to perform. So also I had some nice part-time child care job planned. So I had to cancel them. I mean, nothing should be prioritized to True Mother's invitation. So I had to cancel. I had to think about how to explain this to these people who don't know True Mother. So for this child care, the mother was a musician, and she was working for the Theater Andia Wien for the Mozart opera project. So she is Italian. She was coming here with her son, so she needed somebody to take care. And I explained, I'm sorry, I had this urgent music composers symposium in Korea, so I have to go. And she said, oh, that's great. You have to grab that kind of job. As a musician, I know how it is. So she was happy to hear, and she said she will she will find another person for her son. So she would let me go. And also my pianist friend understand. I explained in a way that she will understand. So everything was all set, and I went with a small suitcase with only the summer clothes inside. So because I heard it's gonna be just 1 week. Okay, so the next one. So the left one is the picture I took on the day. The first day I went up to the mountain, to the tree of the blessing, and it was on my way down, coming down. And after I noticed, looking at this picture, this cloud looked like a crane flying. So I thought it's a good sign, like True Mother is guiding us. And these are the people who are called, who are available, happen to be available to Mother's call. And actually, I thought that they are all composers, but actually they are not. A composer who studied composition in the university was only me. And all others they're great musicians. The 2 other composers who are more like self-taught. This Japanese gentleman who wrote the wonderful music for the praise choirs is he majored in flute, and then the Mr. Kampmann, Hans Kampmann, he taught himself. He was more dedicated to the frontline mission. So then all others were the singers, opera kind of singers, 3 great sopranos and the conductors, and 1 rock musician he had a heavy metal band, which is singing like the Absolute Good Spirit, the title of the song. So he has that wild spirit. And there are a couple of singer-songwriters, and this girl on the very right, she's the second-gen Korean-Japanese. She receives inspiration from Hyojinim, and she writes many nice songs. Yeah, and we can go. Okay. So we, the first several days, we studied this great epic of Korean chosen nation. I'm sorry, I'm not precise with the title, but as True Mother spoke about. And we were given the scenario according to that epic. But we had to study like 3 or 4 hours every morning for about 5 days in this book cafe meeting room. Yeah, that was very intense, and we could ask many questions, and I asked many questions, and this Korean theologian started to get irritated by my questions. I asked too many questions. So, but it was good to understand, and the scenario was very detailed instruction. It had the introduction, you have to create this atmosphere, and this song, you have to create this kind of atmosphere. This song will express to Heavenly Parents this kind of shinjon and that kind of shinjon. It's very precise, detailed instruction was there. And actually, we could compose any of the 13 songs. Actually, I think it ended up to be 16 songs. And we were not assigned, like, you do this part, you do this part. No, we just have to create any song we were inspired. So naturally, it's going to create kind of a competition. Like, for one of the songs, which was very popular, I mean, one of the scene was very popular. Everyone was writing about that scene. And some of the scene was a little bit difficult, too difficult to write, so maybe nobody was writing this song. So in a very unconventional way of producing the musical, but I could understand in that way that God can, get the best result out of the strongest inspiration. So that's maybe I thought that is the new way of creating the musical works. Okay, the next. Okay, on the third day, I believe, we were invited to Cheongwon-gun together with world leaders. There are many leaders, Dr. Balcom and also the American leader, and I saw the many leaders there. And we were invited to Cheongwon-gun, and True Mother came. And my impression of True Mother, when I saw her in America, like 30 years ago, I had many opportunities to attend to True Parents in America. I thought they are both very big people, not fat, but somehow big, and very big this way, so very spherical figure. That's what I remember. But this time, True Mother was much smaller. Maybe I became bigger or something. And she was always joking around. She likes to laugh, and she kind of, she picks herself as a material of a joke. And she is so funny about, talking about herself, and she laughs. And also, she's very quick. After having some simple breakfast or just coffee and some sweets, then she said, "Let's go." And she is on the wheelchair, and she's so fast, like all the leaders are just pushing wheelchair, running, and we are running after her. And she would go to the top floor and let us come and just explain this room is for this, and then let's go. And then she goes down, so we have to go down with her. So it was very busy, but she was so happy to explain everything about the building. And she was so curious how we find the ornaments and the design of the work. She was asking the European members, is this less beautiful than the palace in Vienna or Paris? How do you think? Is this good enough? And she was just genuinely asking, how it is. And I could see also that most of the members could see the atmosphere is very inviting and warm, and I feel home. I mean, people feel home in the Chongwon-gun, and ornaments are very simple but very nice, somehow very new, I felt. But then, like eloquency or splendor compared to Vienna or Paris, I would say it's much simpler. But then I found, when I looked at the ceiling, there is a round window in the ceiling, just like we have in the cathedrals. And then usually in that kind of window, there is a fresco picture, that very elaborate picture of angels and God and all the spiritual things, and it's very elaborate so that it has a three-dimensional effect and feels like these cherubims are flying here. But then there is nothing like that in Chongwon-gun, just a very simple, beautiful colored tiles or that, something more abstract and just natural light coming from it. Then I noticed that we don't have to proclaim that Jesus was a Messiah. Yes, he was a Messiah, and he is now happily blessed in heaven, and it's all accepted, and all the agony or grief of Heavenly Parent is now to be healed. So we don't have to be loud or eloquent about it in the Chong-il-guk era. That's what I felt. And so we were asked to write our reflection about Chongwon-gun, so I wrote that, and I hope it was okay for True Mother to read it. So it was totally different dimension from the New Testament era art. And it's nice in that way, so that the complete Testament era, Chong-il-guk era, doesn't need to compete with New Testament era. It's just accepting it, and it's kind of embracing the past art and then creating a new and more welcoming, and there is no distance between artwork and with us. Okay, the next one. Yeah, and then we get to work. We were given, each one of us were given whatever the equipment we need. I was given just a simple keyboard, and I would write my scores in my computer, and then change the scores to the MIDI sound file. Then some people are more advanced, they will just punch in the directory into their equipment, so they got some more other equipments. And the time was the Chuseok moon, the mid-September. It's the biggest celebration, biggest holiday in Korea. They appreciate the beautiful full moon in September. And there is a scene in scenario that mother is looking at the moon and thinking about True Father, thinking about the providence, and then making a new determination. So that was the most popular scene. Everybody was writing for this scene. Actually, this picture is painted by a Russian sister who gave the beautiful artwork of the dancing cranes for True Mother's 80th birthday, and this is her work. So this picture helped me to get inspiration for this song. And also the real moon was there, full moon was there. And True Mother came cruising to the Cheonpyeong Lake, and I was in the room, and I heard a roar like, "Wang Oma, Wang Oma." So I thought maybe they are getting lunatic with the moon. But actually there was a True Mother's cruising ship in the, were you there? Did you see?
But I heard about it.
Yeah, okay. Yeah, so True Mother with True Family were cruising the lake, so that's why they are roaring. So our day starts with breakfast, And then the prayer, in any time we could go to Chonshin 1. It's just a 3 minutes walk. And yeah, then do some composition work, then go to the lunch, and then write some more music, and go to the dinner, and go to the Chanyan session after dinner every day. That was a mandatory. And then some more work of composition, then go to the vigil prayer, and ends with the vigil prayer. So that was our day. So it was like composer's heaven. Like you don't have to do the dishes, you don't have to do the cooking or the cleaning. It was a wonderful environment. But unfortunately, I had this heavy cold, which I always get whenever I go to the Chonpyeon. And this wasn't the exception. I was coughing so badly. So that kind of dragged me from the putting all my energy to the composition, which was a little bit a pity. And yeah, you can go to the next. Yeah, and once a song is ready, we would bring it to our music director, this guy with the round face. His name is P.D. Kim. He's a second gen and professional composer and professional sound creator. I think he wrote most of the musicals and operas which we see in the blessing celebration or special great works or the big events. And also he works for the outside TV shows or drama or movie. Yeah, but he canceled everything for this project. And I saw a sleeping bag in this great, the state-of-art studio. There was a sleeping bag. So I know that he was sleeping there and working on the music all night almost. And I showed him my sound file, and he would take my sound file into his computer, and he will replace the sound source with a better one, so that my orchestra work sounds really great. And then he said, oh, I don't use music scores. And his head is full of sound waves, and he said, he was listening to, he said, Atsuko-san, at the point of 2 minutes and so seconds, your horn is half step too high, he said. And I said, and he showed me these sound waves, and I said, well, I don't read sound waves. And I was not sure what he was talking about. So I checked my score, and I found maybe this major, and I showed him my score. He said, well, I don't read scores. But then, yeah. But then somehow he figured out, oh yeah, this part. See, this is too high. And then he did something, and he adjusted it. And also he gave me the lesson. I wrote some fanfare phrase. It goes bum ba 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 bum 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 bum. Then he goes bum ba 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 bum 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 bum. So he said, you need this strong, passage that your music is very nice, but it's like a beautiful woman, and woman needs man. He says, where is the tuba? Where is the trombone? I mean, where is the timpani? I can't hear timpani. I wrote timpani, but it was too soft. And then in the end, I wrote something like bararara, 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 bararara. In the end, he said, no. That's more effective, he said. So I got a nice composition lesson from him. Yeah. And there is this lady with me. She's also second gen. She studied voice as a bachelor, and she studied. She was trained as an opera director in Seoul City Opera, and she helped me to record my composition. She sang the soprano soprano area for me, and she was so, sensitive or very sharp with the reading music. I gave her score, and next day she would come, Atsuko-san, would you like to sing me this phrase like as a continuation from the phrase before, or do you want to change the atmosphere like this? And that was exactly I was thinking about, and she was reading what I was not really writing, but she was reading below, deeper shift or deeper dimension of the music. So it was so great to work with the talented Korean musicians. And can go to next. The challenge for me was to forget about my own style. True Mother repeatedly said, don't just think about your taste, your style. I'm not interested in. You just empty yourself and just listen to Heavenly Parent. So I tried, and I was thinking about these two people who said similar thing. One is the Japanese poet who died young in his 20s. He is a very faithful Christian poet. And he wrote the very short poem. It's not a haiku, it's just regular poem, but it's very short. He wrote, I want to wipe myself away, and on that very spot, I like to let a person stand, the person who is shining bright. And he meant Jesus, he's a Christian. And also this young violinist, no, she's not young anymore, she's in her 40s, but this is when she was 16, when she won the Paganini competition. She said as her goal, she said, my goal is that as I played music, I will disappear, and there is only music. I don't want to, exist anymore, just only music exists there. The 16-year-old girl said that, so I was thinking about how can I reach that kind of realm or the level. And I was, so I challenged myself with a daily basis, which I shared in the Chombo event. I don't know, some of them, you are there. Can I repeat? Yeah, so I'll just briefly repeat. Yeah, so I try to challenge with my taste, my style, or that kind of things. There are two things that I couldn't relate in the visual prayer. I like visual prayer, and I have been attending online for maybe 2 years, but then I couldn't resonate with that part when this brother shouts, "Oh, Baji! Oh, Moni!" Like he would shout for 3 or 4 minutes. I couldn't relate to that, and the voice was so hoarse and it's like choking. But then one day in this period, we were able to sit in the front row, and then here comes this, I think it's a Japanese brother, with the microphone and with that stick, and he would go like this in the beginning, just doing this, like putting everything, all his body, all his soul, maybe all his spiritual ancestors and everything for this shouting. And we were doing it together with this, and I was talking to the composer next to me. Yeah, he's something else. And he was saying, oh yeah, he's putting everything for this moment. And then somehow that wiped out with my negative or like prejudice against this style. And then now I can relate. Also, another thing which was difficult for me was that Japanese fighting song. Like, that was a song I would never sing, I would never write, and I would never want to hear. I'm sorry to say, but I know it's a well-written song in that genre as like superhero type of the song. And I think many people like it, but that was completely out of my style. So, yeah, but then I kind of repented. Maybe that's too arrogant for me to say that. So I'm going to sing that song today. So I was determined to sing that song. And there was a soprano singer in my group, happened to be, she was next to me. And she was singing with this great opera voice, which is suitable for the Wagner opera or Verdi or, yeah, of course, Brahms or Wolf and all that. She's singing, yeah, she's singing that superhero kind of song with a great voice, and even she's dancing, and she is improvising the harmony to it, and that really humbled me. I mean, I shouldn't just put things in the box of the, and then I started to enjoy that song. And I'm not sure if that was the indemnity I paid and for that is great blessing. And next, please. So I was writing for the scene of true mothers accepting the holy wedding with the Messiah, who is 26 years older than she is. And she went the step, she made her step forward. And she wrote that I had a dream, but I knew the situation of Heavenly Parent, so I wanted to help Heavenly Parents. So my song would start with a little bit hesitation. I made lots of key changes in the beginning, and slowly it's getting higher and higher, and the great kind of the broad type of aria starts, which expressed True Mother's determination. And then True Mother would look back her life, and she would think of her mother and her grandmother. So for that, I used Oriental scale, the pentatonic scale, with some Korean instruments. And then there will be the preparation for the blessing. So I wrote some fanfare, I just introduced. And then True Father enters, and he will sing baritone aria to thank God for this only begotten daughter. And then in the end, they will sing duet. Then it will end with that violin sweep that I explained. And I liked the outcome, but I was not sure, is this really True Mother was feeling? And is this really expressing the Heavenly Parents' feeling at that time? I didn't have a clear conviction. And on the night that I was trying to convince myself this should be okay or not, and trying to find the answer, in the night vigil, at the time of the unison prayer, I closed my eyes, and I could see beautiful movie like vision. True Mother, as a young girl, she's running around the meadow, and she's appreciating flowers, and she's hearing the birds singing, she's enjoying the sunlight and the breeze. And interestingly, I was inside True Mother in that vision. So I was seeing the scene that True Mother was seeing, and I was hearing the bird's voice, I was feeling the breeze in my face. And then True Mother will grow, and in the end, she will see True Father coming towards her. And I was seeing in her eyes, with her eyes, I was seeing True Father coming to me. I mean, it's not me, it's to True Mother, but I was seeing as my experience. Yeah, True Father was wearing those wedding attire. So that was really amazing 5 minutes of the unison prayer. And I cried and cried after that. And maybe several days after that, whenever I see the True Mother's picture in Cheonpyeon, then I felt like crying. So I felt so close to True Mother, and I was convinced, and I finished this song. And why Mr. Beethoven is there? That is another experience. As True Mother spoke in her the Hundokuhei I introduced, there was another song I was working on. It was more like instrumental music. In the darkness, there is a mysterious light, and the light is searching one person. So I was writing some kind of mysterious music. And then suddenly I started to hear the Ninth Symphony of Beethoven, the fourth movement, before the chorus is starting. There is a part like kind of dark strings, and then pa-bum, 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 like kind of mysterious thing. So I started to hear that, and I thought, oh, maybe I can use, I cannot steal this, but I can use it in my way, like I can change a little bit, and then I used a similar phrase for this. And I was saying, oh, thank you, Mr. Beethoven, for your hint. And then I forgot about this song. I was working for other songs. And a few days later, and all of a sudden, I was working on other song, and my computer started to play this song that I wrote with Beethoven's hint. And I didn't do anything. It just started to play. And it was as if Mr. Beethoven was saying, hey, Atsuko, you are forgetting my song. And you have to finish that song that I gave you hint. And I was, maybe that's just my imagination, but I thought maybe he wants me to finish this song. And I said, okay, Mr. Beethoven, I don't see you, but I know you are here, so I'm going to work on this song. So that was another interesting experience. Okay. Yeah, okay, and this is just to the side story. I was able to meet, you remember those young people who are in Vienna in summer. They are Top Gun missionaries who are here. And Jake and Noriko, they were here. And Jake's sister were in Vigil Prayer. And Jake's sister was a great soprano singer. She is studying with one of the music team singer, the older sister, and she helped me to record another song, the song for the True Mother, Watching the Moon. Yeah, and she also their mother, Jake's mother, brought me lots of warm clothes. I only had the t-shirt and very light pants, and it was getting cold, so she brought a fleece jacket and warm pants and everything, so it helped my life. And also this Jongwon, she's a cello player, she was also here. She came with her mother just to meet me, which was very nice, all the way from Seoul. And she brought me lots of puldak-myeon, the noodles, Korean noodles, and mother brought me some coffee cups. She works for the ceramic artist, so she gave me some nice gifts. And yeah, and here is Tim Berger, our Tim Berger, and the second gens from Europe, Hungarian sister who does ballet, right? And then the Miki and Mie in Israel or Lebanon right now. Yeah, it was nice to reunite with them. And also, the couple behind these vigil leaders, they are from Germany. The husband is the leader of the Korean congregation in Europe. And I didn't know them, but she knew us, so she brought lots of gifts for me and Hans, and it was very, very nice. Okay. Okay, and in the end, we went to the Cheonjeonggun to report our works to True Mother, so we are so excited. Yeah, this is before meeting True Mother, and that's after meeting True Mother. The sun came out, and it's much brighter after. Yeah, and yeah, you can. Okay. So this is a picture that we are offering the songs in the end. So we offered what we created, just the first part, and it was very nice. True Mother was concerned about us because Korean leader was talking about the project. Then she suddenly said, please drink coffee. It's gonna get cold. And we had a nice coffee and nice chocolates and the very, very huge grapes. They have humongous grapes. But we were so intense, like we were just like this. Nobody was touching anything. And then but True Mother said, please drink coffee. So I really felt the mother's love there. And in the end, we offered 3 songs we sang. We practiced the day before. We sang Saranghae and You Are My Sunshine. And when we finished You Are My Sunshine, True Mother said, not You Are My Sunshine. One Oma My Sunshine. do it again. And then we had to sing the one on my sunshine, one my only sunshine. Then after singing this one, and Mother said, encore. And we didn't prepare anything for encore. And Korean said, you didn't prepare anything for the encore. And we said, okay, we will sing the Country Road. And it was, I mean, the Korean and Japanese members, we just know Country Road, that part. So the Otmar, this brother, actually he's Austrian. He is Austrian living in America since 1970s. Yeah, he was almost like solo. And we didn't rehearse, and they started to clap. But with this kind of song, it's musically correct to clap 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, instead of 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. So this conductor sister next to me was trying to get everybody to clap on the second and fourth beat, 1, 2, 3, 4. But then these brothers are like, dun, dun. So in the end, like everybody, dun, bum, 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 like this. So also the another interesting thing was we are all composers and music, songwriters. So we love to improvise the harmony, not singing the melody. Like just singing a melody is a little bit boring for us. So everybody is trying to sing harmony. Those soprano sisters are singing high notes, and I was losing my voice, so I was singing the lower harmony. And I noticed several times nobody was singing the melody. So in that moment, I tried to sing melody myself. Okay, then the next one. Okay, so this is the day before this, that's going to Cheonjeonggun. We had a nice lunch with two family members and the directors, music director and the project director. Actually, project director who is standing on the very left is a brother of Yonanim, and he was supervising everything. And the Hunsukunim was very friendly. She's so humorous. I really liked her. I know a sister from Boston who is a good friend of Hunsukunim, so we talked about her. And she was sitting next to me at the lunchtime, and I was eating some soy sauce marinated sashimi. And she was asking, is this raw? And I said, yeah, would you like to try? And she said, no, I don't eat raw fish. And yeah, also she was, when we were studying the epic, there was some scene of the fighting and escaping, and she was doing like this with the ballet, and the ballerina would do this in this kind of scene, and she was expressing the scene with her ballet, which was very nice. And then the director said, this is not the ending, it's a beginning. And yeah, this is right after the Cheonjeonggun. Mrs. McDavid was there. I knew her since I was, not personally, but I have seen her many times in New York, in the Belvedere and the East Garden, but she hasn't changed at all. In 30 years later, she's still looking the same. And she said Mother was happy with the outcome. Yeah, so we were able to take this nice picture with her, and this is the last vigil prayer we were together. Yeah, in the beginning there was a kind of tension between, we didn't know each other, but now we became like all brothers and sisters, and even Lee Gi-sung is looking happy. And, so yeah, we had a nice the end of the workshop, and yeah, they are still asking that if we write more songs, please send it, and we still don't know what kind of real outcome will be. There are already like 45 songs collected, and then it's up to the director, also maybe to Mother, to which song they will use. But they said, please don't get disappointed if your song is not used. And it's not just because the flow of the drama, we will pick something that fits the scene. So I'm kind of looking forward to hearing it. And yeah, and they said whatever the outcome is, it's all collective work of all of us. So, yeah, okay then. Thank you so much for your time. I left in the summer, and I came back in autumn. So, yeah, I hope you will have a nice experience with true parents in your daily life. Also, if you have chance to go to the Champion, it will be great. And thank you very much I thank you for Elizabeth for letting me know about this project. And thank you very much for your support. Many of you prayed for me. And I have to acknowledge my daughter who managed alone the 1 month. And I was glad to see my apartment was still there when I came back. So, yeah. Thank you very much for listening. And thank you.